game. That's not really his game, the three-point shot. He's only taken now 52 shots on the year at a clip of about 34%. He's a guy that gets to the rim, can create space, and shoot over you. The Garnet, a team based on the free-flowing offense, spacing the floor, and 5 guys that can score on the floor at any time. They're patient here with 6 on the shot clock. Odell, tough shot, and he traveled with it. So 2 turnovers in 2 possessions for the Garnet, as we are scoreless just more than a minute into this one. Plattsburgh, their 3rd appearance in the national sectional semifinals since 2008. Patron, short. My apologies, Chris Middleton there. He's got some length. Now they go inside, pass deflected, but it gets all the way to Odell. He is against Patron, and he will finish. The 6'7" sophomore uses the length to put the Garnet on the board. Now inside, up and under, Ian Howard. He's a guy that does it all defensively. He's only been in double figures twice this year, but does everything well, leads the team in steals. Now Zach Yanda for 3. And the Garnet lead 5-2. This a home court advantage of epic proportions. Now Patron spinning inside, puts it up and good. The big man at 245 pounds and 6'2" out of Huntington, New York. Averages to the 24 points per game. Garnet leading by 1. Poked away from behind. Good hands there by Coleman. Back cut, Yanda to the hole, over the front rim. He almost didn't get it there. But great off-ball movement as Plattsburgh was too aggressive in the man-to-man. Now Nick DeAngelis is fouled on his way to the bucket. Foul will go against the freshman Ryan Ingram. DeAngelis showing the multiple facets to his game. Another look on the other end as Zach Yanda back cutted to the hole. But DeAngelis primarily a three-point shooter, 48 for 21 on the year, just a shade under 40%. He misses the first free throw. DeAngelis, for being such a proficient three-point shooter, just 64% from the line, and he gets that roll and hits 1 of 2. Nate Schaefer into the game along with Connor Harkins and Jim Lammers for the Swarthmore Garnet. Both these teams will go very deep. Both have 8 guys that see legitimate and consistent minutes on a game-to-game basis. Schaefer good on the catch, and Patron reaches around, and that's a giveaway from Patron. Here's another look and reaching right through. Just you didn't need it. But without a doubt, this Garnet team provides more size than Plattsburgh State has or is used to. The Garnet at any one time can go 6'7", 6'8", and 6'6" across the front court. And so now Plattsburgh will go into a zone. First time they've showed into the 2-3 zone look. They extend the prongs very far. Good one-handed catch from Odell and a spin and fire. So that is a next-level move that time from Zach Odell to be off balance, catch the ball, and all-in-one motion, spin and fire. Now a long 3, no good, off the hands of DeAngelis. Wiley, a long 3. Patron comes down with the rebound. The big boy scored 39 points in his last time out, and this time he gives it away. Almost came up with his second foul. Good catch by Schaefer. Off the glass and good. That's a beautiful job by the big man, understanding that 2 defenders are behind him. Don't put the ball on the turf, just go right up with it. Good look to the outside. D'Angelo's had trouble with it. Now Howard spinning, wild shot, it won't go, and a second foul comes against Jonathan Patron. The big man who has scored 60 points combined in the 2 games in the NCAA tournament picks up his second at the under 4 timeouts. And the Plattsburgh Cardinal has made his way into the house, egging on the Garnet faithful. A timeout on the floor. And you are watching NCAA tournament basketball here on GSN.
Championships and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
So head coach Tom Curl not particularly pleased with the officiating there, as it takes their best player out of the game, presumably. And I would think you'd almost have to at this point, take Patron out of the game. Second personal foul. He averages a double-double, as we mentioned pregame. But Plattsburgh will now have to stave things off for quite some time. The starting 5 no longer on the floor. It's Ian Howard on the floor, along with Eli Bryant, Chris Middleton, Zach Coleman, and number 23, Eric Mack, a third-team SUNYAC, and a transfer from Nassau Community College. Inside, Nate Schaefer. Schaefer spins baseline, and he's blocked. Great effort there from Mack. That's his 62nd block on the year. And Nate Schaefer called for the foul. Another look, this after the block. And if you're Nate Schaefer and the rest of the Swarthmore College Garnet faithful, you've seen a lot of that this year, just traditionally from the trio of Schaefer, Walsh, and Odell, 3 of the leading shot blockers in the Centennial Conference. But Eric Mack picks up his 62nd block on the year, and it's a big one. They can't finish at the hole. Mack got a hand on it. Now Abbas Salah, the true freshman, backup point guard all the way to the hole. It's an 8-point lead for the Garnet. And the reigning SUNYAC champions find themselves down 8 early. Eric Mack spots up, no good. A heave that time from the big man. Lammers, patience. Inside, Walsh using that size, and he's fouled. Ian Howard at 6'3", a great cover, but normally spends more time out on the perimeter, and at 6'3", Robbie Walsh had his way inside. This is Abbas Salah, the last possession down, slithering to the hole. Robbie Walsh hits the first free throw. A look from our cam overhead. Robbie Walsh, a 4-year senior, shooting his second. Back iron, and Odell comes up with the offensive carom. Walsh gets it right back. Goes right at the defender. No good there, and a good rebound inside by Chris Middleton. Eli Bryant, he can let it go from deep. Had 12 points in the last game against Union. Tough shot, no good. Salah, one-on-one. Euro step, and knocked out of bounds by Eli Bryant. Another look here. Maybe doing a little bit too much going Euro step there. Zach Coleman certainly wouldn't have had the position. He could have dove right at the big man. Salah looking to get it in, struggling, and a 5-second violation. .14:02 to play. Plattsburgh gets a huge turnover. and needs to get it going offensively, trailing by 9. Will it be Eli Bryant, who went for 28 and 30 points in a back-to-back back in December? Brockport and Geneseo, the opponents in that one, both out of the SUNYAC. Brockport, the only other team out of the SUNYAC who made the NCAA tournament. They were eliminated in the first round by MIT. Now Eric Mack, nowhere to go on the baseline. 1 second left, and they don't get the shot up. The Garnet, a great defensive play. Robbie Walsh, good not to foul there. Understanding the amount of time that was on the shot clock, just putting the hand straight up in the air was going to be enough. We talked in the first game about back-to-backs in the NCAA tournament. Some teams see that for the first time. Swarthmore is one of those teams. This, of course, the first game of 2. It would likely play itself out tomorrow. A back cut by Connor Harkins. Caught sleeping the Plattsburgh State defense for a couple times now. 11-point lead. And Cam Wiley called for a foul as Brandon Johnson, number 11, dove at the outside hip. Cam Wiley was last year's Centennial Conference Player of the Year. And they throw it away. They can't save it in bounds, and things are out of sorts for Plattsburgh early. Their first time here in the NCAA tournament playing away from home. From way upstate New York, on the way to the Canada border, they find their way down here to Swarthmore College and are looking for some answers. Wiley off a screen. Ingram thought about the 3, but they continue to pound it down low. Schaefer off the glass. That is clearly the mindset here for Swarthmore. Believed they had a matchup advantage down there and are taking advantage as such. The ability to go 6'8", 6'7", and 6'6". Here's Eric Mack, taken away by Cam Wiley. It's a 3-on-2. Harkins in rhythm. No good. Now a cross-court pass. Eli Bryant loves to go to that left hand. Can light it up from deep. 18-5. Bryant. No good from 3. Rebound by the big man inside. He can't finish. And Zach Odell comes down with it. Ingram for 3. In and out. Garnet are close. They're getting the good looks. Now Bryant all the way to the hole. He can't finish. End to end we go. Wiley sees the lane. It's 20-5. Swarthmore Garnet. Bryant, tough shot, no good. Not a high percentage look. Now Schaefer needs help and gets it. Odell. Great look inside. Wonderful ball movement and a timeout called by Tom Curl. Listen to this crowd. Zach Odell, the recipient of the pass inside, and another great assist from the Garnet. They lead by 17, and home is kind to the Garnet. Full timeout on the floor. You're watching NCAA tournament basketball here on GSN.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Tom Curl and the Cardinals of Plattsburgh trail 22-5, and they've just been blitzed here on the road. But if there's a guy to turn it around, it's Tom Curl, the SUNYAC Coach of the Year. He's in his 15th season with Plattsburgh. 5 conference titles while coaching this team, all 5 of them since 2010. And of course, all those accolades, you add one more. The winningest coach in program history. Now interesting, center your screen, number 5, that's Jonathan Patron. He comes back into the game with 11:15 to play. Plattsburgh has decided they need him, and they need him now. Swarthmore went on a huge run. They haven't scored since he went off the floor. Tough shot, and Zach Odell called for the foul. Robbie Walsh called for the foul, actually, so let's see it here. Oh my, they called it the push. I didn't see it. Now maybe Robbie Walsh got him up by the elbow. There's a possibility there, but Zach Odell took that ball right off the hand of the 6'2 Patron. And Jonathan Patron hits the first free throw. He has 3 points. Second free throw is good, and some normalcy here for Plattsburgh State. Center your screen in the student section. You see the mascot. That's the Phoenix of Swarthmore. So, of course, the Garnet, that's their nickname, but the Phoenix named after the newspaper here, the student-run newspaper, one of the largest and oldest publications in the country. Zach Odell, patience inside. They lead 24-7. Patron thought about the 3. Landry Kosmolski loves the defensive effort. Now DeAngelis off for Eli Bryant for 3. Back iron, no, but a long rebound comes down to Brandon Johnson, who hoists it. Salah almost had it taken away. Yonda inside, he's poked away, and it's foul. He's fouled by Nick DeAngelis. Now they call that on the floor. So Jim Lammers will toss it in from the baseline. 24-9, Swarthmore leads. Yonda gets his defender in the air, hit, and they wave it off. So they're gonna wave off that shot. That's the second, we'll say could have been in 2 possessions. But that's already the team's 5th personal foul. Swarthmore has 4. A lot different from the first game we saw. Zone defense for Plattsburgh. Lammers open. Can't hit the 3. Good offensive rebound by Zach Odell, and that is a calling card of this Garnet team. He'll try again. No good, but another offensive rebound by Zach Yonda. He'll try a 3rd time. That one won't go, and Plattsburgh comes up with it. Now the Garnet in the man-to-man. Wholesale substitutions coming to the scorer's table for Swarthmore. DeAngelis, guarded by Lammers, spins on the baseline. Good back cut. And Mack is hit hard before the shot. I'll say this again. Let's get another look at this here. You know, that contact came a little bit early, but referees here tonight very careful about not awarding continuation. That's one that I could have seen as well, sending number 23 Eric Mack to the line. Now DeAngelis off the screen. It's Patron that comes up with the ball. 17 to shoot. Eli Bryant looks for a high ball screen from Mack. Hedge and recover from Nate Schaefer. Here's a 3. Brandon Johnson can't hit it. And Swarthmore is owning the glass here tonight. Back cut, and getting a hand on it there. Great play by Eric Mack. Jonathan Patron through the lane. Tough shot. It's good. Boy, he does such a good job at that 6'2 frame of using that wide body to get into the lane, create just a little bit of space. A block by Eric Mack. That's his 2nd on the night and his 63rd on the year. There's that rim protection that I think Plattsburgh is realizing that they're going to need in high order. And Mack providing that as Plattsburgh tries to crawl back in it. Ingram thought about the three. Wiley launches. Short, tipped up, and into the hands of DeAngelis. So Plattsburgh, they trail by 13, shooting 4 of 18 from the field. Brandon Johnson can't change it. Patron, ball taken away from him. He's the first on the floor, and he knocks it out of bounds. And now Patron and Wiley getting into it a little bit off camera. Patron's got to be careful, and if you're Wiley, well, of course, you're maybe Swarthmore's best player, and he is slow getting up. But the Garnet trying to get into the head of Patron, and if he were to pick up a technical foul or something of that order, that would be his third personal. Of course, the first concern for the Garnet is Cam Wiley, a little slow to get up. Good look for Connor Harkins, now Ryan Ingram for 3, and the Garnet continue to get offensive rebounds. Zach Yonda is fouled by Eric Mack. Mack got poked in the eye as he went up for that rebound, and another look there as Yonda drew some contact. Yonda, earlier this season, broke his own record in the Centennial Conference for consecutive free throws made. Shooting 89% from the line on the year. A bird's eye view of the senior. Ian Howard back into the game, a huge defensive asset for this team. 29 steals this year, leads Plattsburgh State. And Yonda hits the second. They're going to need some of that from Ian Howard. Brandon Johnson, Howard's teammate, said that he's the MVP of the team without scoring the ball. Well, the Garnet shooting 11 for 22. Haven't seen a ton of that resistance yet. So Plattsburgh State will need that, and Nate Schaefer brings down another rebound. 7:48 to play. Cam Wiley guarded by Brandon Johnson. Now it's Ingram with it. A high man-to-man set. Wiley thought about the 3. Ingram with 5. Ingram to the hole. Great look. Connor Harkins can't cash in. So the Garnet, for as well as they are playing, keeping Plattsburgh in it, only 1 for 10 from 3. Patron, not a high percentage look there, off the base of the backboard. Inside, Nate Schaefer has the height advantage on Patron, going right at him and finishes. He has developed that craft so well this year, utilizing that rim as the defense against the shot blocker, the power dribble to get to the other side of the lane. DeAngelis thought about a tough shot. Now Brandon Johnson, he fades away and hits it. And he takes it away. Nate Schaefer. Now it's taken away from him. Patron. Counted and 1. Fouled by Cam Wiley. And Landry Kosmalski not happy. Schaefer the giveaway in the backcourt. Then he got the block. Then taken away from him. And it's Frantic here at Tarbell Pavilion. A timeout on the floor. 6:23 to play. Swarthmore with a 28-15 lead. But Plattsburgh eking their way back, possession by possession. We'll be right back here on GSN.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin or whether whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Jonathan Patron to the line, shooting one, and you have to love the trust that Tom Curl has in the junior Patron. His MVP, 24 points, 11 assists. He picked up 2 fouls before the first media timeout at the under 16 mark. And he's come in and played well and has avoided foul trouble. So now it's a 13-point game, and we're back to action. Inside, Nate Schaefer goes right at Patron again, and Patron gets the block. A risky play there, but rewarded for his effort. Brandon Johnson, an offensive foul as he extended the left arm. Here's another look. Watch this left arm right into the body of Abbas Salah, and that's an easy call. Brandon Johnson takes a seat, his first personal foul, the 7th team foul against the Cardinals. Now Abbas Salah off the floor, guiding the Swarthmore Garnet offense. This is a matchup zone here. Lammers was wide open, they didn't find him. 15 to shoot. Garnet have had so much success going inside, and they go after Patron again. Lammers kicks for Yanda, yes! Just spectacular ball movement from the Garnet. Here's Plattsburgh State. And a giveaway foul from Connor Harkins. Zach Coleman fouled on the play, and that is now the 7th team foul against the Garnet. It'll send the Cardinals to the line. Another look at the baseline 3 from Zach Yanda. He puts it in at a 41% clip from 3-point distance this year. Now the front end of a 1-and-1 for Zach Coleman. He hits the first, an 80% free throw shooter. Second best margin on this Cardinals team. Well, if you're Plattsburgh State, I would not say that you handled the frenzied first few minutes well, coming into a hostile environment, getting to the first media timeout. I wouldn't say they did that well, but all that said, here they are. Jim has calmed down a little bit. We're playing basketball fundamentals here on both sides, a little bit less of that emotion, and they're hanging. It's just a 14-point game. Eli Bryant. And you'd certainly expect this type of response from a championship caliber team in Plattsburgh State. Skip pass. A long 2. Coleman hits it, and it's 12. Now Basala poked away from behind from Coleman, and for everything he's done well in the past couple possessions, that's just a bad giveaway foul. Reaching around from behind, the official standing right there on that sideline, and that's going to be part of the message from the assistant coaches as Zach Coleman takes a seat. Here's Salah shooting the front end of a 1-and-1. Misses the first, and therefore Plattsburgh, down by 12, gets to the offensive possession. Can they continue to crawl their way back into this one as we approach the under 4? Patron steps back, tough shot, no good, and Nate Schaefer a good rebound after the tap up by Howard. Cam Wiley on the bench. Zach Yanda on the bench, Robbie Walsh on the bench. A young lineup here for the Garnet. 2 sophomores and 3 freshmen. Inside they go for Schaefer, guarded by the smaller Howard. Thought he was fouled, no call. 3 on the shot clock. Salah, no good. And Plattsburgh continues to make Swarthmore uncomfortable. Oh, and a late foul call. Referee from behind makes the call. Referee in front of the Swarthmore bench didn't see it. Referee on the baseline did, and a timeout is called at the under 4. Plattsburgh State has stymied the Garnet offense enough to crawl back to 12. Intriguing first half here so far. We'll be back on the other side, and you're watching NCAA tournament basketball here on GSN. .333 to play. Swarthmore 31, Plattsburgh 19. Jonathan Patron to the line, shooting 1-1. Patron comes into the game a 76% free throw shooter. And he misses the first. Rebound, Howard blocked and fouled by Zach Odell. So the Garnet pride themselves on the rebounding, but Howard slips inside and draws the foul. And now they're going to have to wait for the free throw here. Both teams were looking to get a substitution in right away. It's the front end of a 1-1. So there certainly is the possibility that the free throw is missed, and neither of these teams can get their substitutes in. First free throw is good. And actually the reason they didn't bring them in is that they called him shooting that shot, which was the right call. So now both teams get their substitutions in. And Ian Howard to cut it to 10. And he does. There is no doubt that Plattsburgh has engineered an aggressive offense and an equally aggressive defense that has taken Swarthmore out of their game. Now a slip from Nate Schaefer, too easy. They slipped Schaefer as he feigned the high ball screen. Here's a 3. That one well long. Howard off the glass. That one won't go, and Lammers comes up with it. The rarely seen Isaiah Hill. Hill only averaging 8.7 minutes per game, but at 6'7", Tom Curl has decided they need size. He's the one that launched that 3. Garnet lead by 12, an opportunity to take some momentum right back. Lammers with 6. Yonda gonna have to create himself. Tough shot there, lays it in. 35-21. Bryant, the floater, gets it to go. Caresses it down through the rim, and it's a 12-point game. Another slip, and he finishes again. Harkins this time to Nate Schaefer. 37-23, DeAngelis with the ball. Plattsburgh State now in a track meet as Swarthmore's offense has figured it out a little bit. Eli Bryant, fade away, no. And it's Garnet basketball. Another look at the floater, the last bucket from Eli Bryant. A timeout is called on the floor, 1:55 to play. Another look at Schaefer diving to the hole. I love the timeout call. I really think this is an important 1:55 as Plattsburgh had taken Swarthmore out of their offense. Now Swarthmore starting to get it back. Kosmowski realizing, guys, we can get a couple stops here, a couple buckets, and put ourselves in a really good spot. That's the idea behind this timeout. And if you're Tom Curl, you're telling your team right now, we've put in all this work to come back. Sure, it only got to 10, but we took the energy out of this building, which is really tough to do. Can they finish this half on a high note and maybe cut it to 10 again? The chess match continues here at Tarbell Pavilion. The true freshman Ryan Ingram leads the point. He and Abasalov both stepped up as freshmen, able to run the point very well. Now Schaefer spins in the lane and a great finish from the big. He is having a night here for Swarthmore, and they lead by 16. Schaefer got a hand on it. It'll stay with the Cardinals. Nate Schaefer now 6 of 7 from the field, and he has 6 rebounds. It's plays like this that's making the difference. And now right out of the scrum, it'll be Jim Lammers coming up with the basketball, and he gives it up. And it is physical here tonight. Landry Kosmowski, you rarely see him get animated. Clearly animated there. Ian Howard, a little shove in the back of Zach Yonda. And that's exactly what this Plattsburgh team wants to do. They want to get in the head of Swarthmore. They're a little bit frustrated. They're a physical team. And they're trying to see if they can disrupt the mojo of this Garnet team. Bryant off the ball screen. Here's a long 2. Eric Mack hits it. Great stroke from the baseline for the big man. Poked away from behind. There's Ian Howard, his 30th steal of the year. Eric Mack, a two-handed flush, and it's a 12-point game. Plattsburgh trying to end the half on a bang. Schaefer again. Great find from Jim Lammers. And boy, that's just a little back screen. Getting Ryan Ingram with the basketball. He distributes and switches the floor, and Nate Schaefer back cuts to the hole. Now a rebound, kept in bounds, now out of bounds, last touch by Plattsburgh. It is a war inside for every single rebound. And that one could have gone either way. Referee had a better angle than we did on our replay. Oh my gosh. We have a cascade of young basketball players, maybe future members of Plattsburgh State or Swarthmore, running across the floor. We're back to action. 0.6 differential between game and shot clock. Garnet, they have a 14-point lead at home. Can they end the half with another bucket? Down to 10, Cam Wiley. Hasn't seen a ton of time here in the first half. Harkins, extra pass. Ingram blocked. And now will they get one last look? They do. No good. And at the end of the first half, Swarthmore leads 41-27. What a closeout there from Adam Jaquish just into the game. Prevents another 3, but the Garnet playing some great basketball here tonight. The leading scorer, Nate Schaefer, 14 points on 7 of 8 shooting. He has the 6 rebounds to go along with it. As a team, the Garnet 54.5% from the field, 18 of 33. They've only hit 2 out of the 14 three-point baskets they've attempted, but it's all been inside tonight for the Garnet. Plattsburgh State only down 14 after shooting 30% from the field and not hitting a three. So if there is any consolation for this Cardinals team, it's that they haven't played the game that they want to play. And I think we got some excitement coming our way in the second half. This one far from over, and a trip to the round of 8, the sectional final, to take on Springfield on the line. Bob Long here once again for GSN, a phenomenal evening of basketball here on GSN, and thanks for being with us. We will be right back for the beginning of the second half.
It's on us.
All of us.
And it's time to act now.
We are calling you, all of you.
All Centennial Conference student athletes to join our cause.
The It's On Us pledge is a personal commitment
to keep men and women safe from sexual assault.
It's a promise to not be a bystander to the problem,
but to be a part of the solution.
As a Centennial Conference student athlete, I am proud to take the pledge.
I pledge
to create an environment where men and women feel
safe.
To hold friends accountable if what they're doing is wrong.
To never blame the victim.
1/5 of women and 1/16 of men are sexually assaulted in college.
It's on us.
It's on us. To stop sexual assault.
To be more than a bystander.
To intervene if a friend is doing something that could lead to sexual assault.
It's on us.
It's on us.
It's on us.
To help others.
To stand up, to step in, and to take responsibility.
It's on us. It's on us.
To take reports of sexual assault seriously.
To change the way we talk about women.
To be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
To look out for others.
Anyone can be the victim, and everyone can be the solution.
It's on us as Centennial Conference student athletes.
To take a stand and make a difference.
We're the Centennial Conference, and it's on us, all of us, to stop sexual assault.
We took the pledge, and you can too.
At itsonus.org.
It goes back to our origins as an institution committed to serving the common good. We come together to work, to study, because we believe it can have an impact on the world beyond the campus.
People aren't just one thing. They're not just students. They're not just athletes. They're not just activists.
Everyone has something that they're passionate about, something that distinguishes them.
SWAT calls you out on your opinions and your beliefs. People are okay with saying, no, I disagree with you and I want to have a productive conversation with you.
People are really invested in learning for the pure joy of it.
People just have a social conscious sense to impact the world and try and make it a better place.
Your academic life and your social life overlap completely. It's the people that make the place for me.
And I get a huge sense of joy from those conversations that last way longer than you think. And the conversation just changes your entire perspective on something.
Swarthmore has changed me in ways that I haven't even begun to contemplate yet.
No matter what I end up doing, I have a commitment to social justice and social change.
My ultimate goal is to use my knowledge in the real world to actually try to make the world a little bit of a better place.
The liberal arts is a profoundly optimistic way to view the world, and I think it sets you up for a lifetime of engaging with the world and with other people.
Whether they are humanists or scientists or social scientists, Swarthmore students believe in bringing the full power of their intellect and the passion of their spirit to contribute to the larger society. This is the time to celebrate the value of a Swarthmore education and the value of a liberal arts education to democratic society.
It's on us.
All of us.
And it's time to act now.
We are calling you, all of you.
All Centennial Conference student athletes to join our cause.
The It's On Us pledge is a personal commitment.
To keep men and women
something about this place.
Experience SUNY Plattsburgh and imagine what you will accomplish. SUNY Plattsburgh is a liberal arts college that's connected to the largest university system in the nation. We offer more than 60 degree and certificate programs. Some of our most popular majors are education, nursing, business, journalism, and speech-language pathology. We also feature hard-to-find degrees such as fitness and wellness leadership and expeditionary studies.
I am so happy that I chose D3. My coaches and my teammates are always pushing me to reach new potential and to try new things.
You still get to be on a team and play at a very high competitive level, but it doesn't take over your entire life.
They really do want to see you do well in your sport, in the classroom, in life. What the Centennial Conference has to offer is unparalleled by anything else in the country.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. I'm here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Welcome back inside Tarble Pavilion. Game 2 of 2 tonight. In the sectional semifinals, the round of 16. And at this point, only 12 remain. 8 games in the early slot across the country, and 8 games here in the late slot. Plattsburgh State, they fell behind 22-5. Jonathan Patron, their best player, a double-double machine, was out of the game with 2 fouls before the first media timeout, and yet they've crawled back. They got it as close as 10, and it's 14 right now with 20 minutes to play, a fresh half of basketball coming at you. Once again, Bob Long bringing you the play-by-play. So excited to do so as well. From wherever and however you may be watching us, thank you for making us a part of your evening. The Garnet will start with the basketball. They did a great job of getting the ball into the paint and scoring that way. 30 of their 41 points came into the paint. Only 6 points from beyond the three-point line. Yonda gets his defender in the air and can't hit the bunny. Rebound by Walsh, and he lost the basketball. So Plattsburgh, although it wasn't a pretty defensive possession, they get the start they needed. Looking to claw their way back. Patron. Step back. Tough shot. No. Rebound inside by D'Angelo's. Shot clock did not reset. He'll launch a corner three. They still have not hit a three, have the Cardinals. 11 attempts on the night. Cam Wiley, yes. The defense just peeled away as they expected a pass inside. Tough shot, no. Rebound for Zach Odell. No numbers for Wiley. Here's Ingram with it. The Garnet committed to getting the ball inside throughout the first half. Now Ingram looking to dish it inside. Odell. Extra pass. Yonda, a deep three. It's good. The Garnet with the first 5 of the second half, and it's exactly the start they wanted. 19-point lead. Inside for Patron. Baseline blocked by Zach Odell. Another look as Patron had just a sliver, but then that hole closed quickly. Zach Odell posts his 42nd block of the year. One of 3 members of the Swarthmore Garnet who have blocked more than 40 shots on the year. And it remains physical in there. Chris Middleton asking for the basketball. He gets it out at the top of the key. Guarded by Zach Yonda. Steps in at the foul line. Good shot from Middleton, the junior. He can fill it up. He put 27 points on the board in a November game against St. Lawrence. However, hasn't scored more than 11 since the turn of the new year. Now, great job by Robbie Walsh to get that position, but can't finish. Could have used to go right up with the basketball. DeAngelis, too strong off the glass. Up the floor come the Garnet. Wiley to the hole, up and under, and he's fouled. He just makes these plays all the time. Little shake and get to the hole, young fella. Wiley gets the roll on the first free throw. A 75% free throw shooter on the year. He only played about 9 minutes in the first half, did Wiley. He sat on the bench for long stretches. But now coming on, he has the 5 points, 2 of 4 from the field, and 1 of 1 from the charity stripe. 2 of 2 for the 2016-2017 Centennial Conference Player of the Year. And the Garnet stay in their traditional man-to-man set. Middleton off for Jonathan Patron. Patron spins into a double team, out of a double team, and just loses it on the way up. Here's Wiley up the floor. Patience and a great job from the junior. Great maturity there as they set up the offense. Swarthmore looking to get it to 20. Wiley with 10. Harkins looking to dump it down low, and Odell is there. Ian Howard overcommitted, trying to get the steal. And a great job there on the seal from Odell. It opens up the entire baseline. Patron now spins baseline, and he's blocked, gets it back and finishes. Timeout called by Tom Curl before the inbound. Another look there as he stays with it. And you know this kid ain't quitting. A 6'2", 245-pound junior who's been the rock of this team all year long. Swarthmore 50, Plattsburgh 31. And we'll be back on the other side. You're watching NCAA Tournament Basketball, the sectional semifinal round here on GSN.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. That's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
We mentioned at the top of the broadcast, this was going to be a battle of depth, as both teams have 8 regular contributors that will come off the bench at any given time. We've even seen Plattsburgh go deeper than that. Isaiah Hill wasn't on that list of 8. He only plays about 9 minutes a game, and he's shown that he can come on and spell a few minutes. And the Garnet winning that battle for now. Now Plattsburgh forced to go to a full court pressure. Abbas Salah, the true freshman, running the point, and it's taken right away from him. Brandon Johnson spins into him, and Salah takes it away. Boy, the scouting must have been good. Salah knew exactly where that spin was coming. It was a great defensive play by Johnson, but Salah stayed with him. And the tail end of that, a little bump along the sideline. It's a Plattsburgh team that is no stranger to being down. In the second round game against Union, and an offensive foul against Salah. If I'm reading lips correctly, perhaps I saw from the bench of Swarthmore that that's a flop and a half, if I saw that right. It's getting physical though, no doubt. A lot of contact on both sides here. Inside, Patron. Tough step back. Look at that. And he's made a habit of that this year. He creates that space with the step back and also creates space with his body. But I mentioned being down by 10 in the first half to Union, then dropped down about 6 or 7 in the second half. They kept coming back, did this Cardinals team. Now they trail by 17 with 15 to play. Lammers back cut. And it's Nate Schaefer with the steal. Patron launches a 3, no good. Salah nearly loses it. And he gets it to Robbie Walsh. Garnet need to be careful here. Schaefer nearly run over by Brandon Johnson. Now Walsh with it inside and tried to slip a pass in too tight. Great defense by Plattsburgh. Brandon Johnson, a quick trigger. It's now a 16-point game, and Abbas Salah is fouled by Brandon Johnson. Tom Curl doesn't like the call. Unfortunately, I don't know what other call comes there. He was bumped into, he was a little bit off balance and fell. It's either a foul or a travel there. And a timeout on the floor, 14:48 to play. Swarthmore 52, Plattsburgh 36. Continuing to hang around. How many runs do they have in them? The Cardinals continue to play hard.
On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus. And why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity.
Plattsburgh State trailing by 16, winners of 21 straight games. The last time they lost a game was December the 8th against Brockport, 97-95. That was another tournament team. They were bounced in the first round. Tom Curl was asked after the win against Union what this means. It's actually now the longest winning streak in school history, and he said, well, you know, we need to figure out and focus on what we're doing right now. We can reflect on that, and that'll be nice in April as Yonda gets the defender in the air and draws the foul on Eric Mack. Yonda puts it up. That's always a tough call there as Mack certainly jumped into him, but was that really the space that Yonda was going to shoot into, or did he initiate that contact? Gets the call, however. And when you have a pump fake like that, you utilize it. And Yonda, a rare miss at the foul line, an 89% free throw shooter. Second free throw is good for Zach Yonda. Second one goes for Yonda, and it's an 18-point lead for Swarthmore. Now Brandon Johnson dribbles it off his foot and out of bounds. And Ryan Ingram, they say Ryan Ingram went off his foot. I don't think Johnson thought that was the case as he went diving to the sideline for the ball. Ingram doesn't believe it either. Now Patron, baseline. Blocked by Zach Odell, put back up by Johnson. It's a fight for the rebound, and Ozell is fouled by Ian Howard. Swarthmore just using their size right now, and Plattsburgh does not seem to have an answer for it. Full court pressure from the Cardinals. They're going to try to turn over the Garnet, and Odell calls a timeout. Well, the Garnet continue to pound away inside. 34 points in the paint to 12. And a Garnet team whose only loss at home this year. They're 14-1 here at home. Their only loss came in the Centennial Conference Championship game against Johns Hopkins. This just their second NCAA tournament appearance. Their first was last year. The 6th year for Landry Kosmalski, the head coach of the Swarthmore Garnet, taking them from doormat program to top of the table on a year-to-year basis. Completely changed the culture, and quite simply, you would not have seen this type of crowd. You would not have seen this game here, period, 6 years ago. This a rare opportunity, and it would be their first round of 8 appearance. But a long way to go. Zach Odell, patient, and now Zach Yonda has it. 14 to shoot, poked away from him. It'll stay with Swarthmore. Brandon Johnson got a hand in there, and that could have been Plattsburgh basketball very easily per that replay. but the Garnet will retain it with 13 seconds. Comes to Cam Wiley, a fortunate bounce. Now Odell spins and fires. Here's Jonathan Patron. Brandon Johnson in rhythm, three. In and out. And a defensive, should say offensive foul there, as number 0, Ian Howard, was nudging on Robbie Walsh. They got tied up. Tom Curl, you see him extending both arms, saying, if anything, that's a double foul. Plattsburgh still making things tough here on the Garnet offensively. They have not been able, even though Plattsburgh continues to struggle offensively, they haven't really been able to pull away at all here. It's 18 with 13:27, but as we know, that can be eclipsed very quickly. Slip from Zach Odell, and that's the third time that one's worked. Just fake that ball screen, get the big man hedging too far, and then dart to the hole. What a play design, and what a find from Cam Wiley. It's now 20. Eli Bryant. Inside they go. Foul against Nate Schaefer. Bodied up Adam Jaquish. A 6'7", 210-pound sophomore from Mariah, New York. Misses the first. Here's the second, and it's good. Splitting the pair. Plattsburgh now going to put some backcourt pressure into place, and the Garnet break it easily. Here's Connor Harkins for three. Tapped up, and Wiley will launch. Yes! Cam Wiley, last year's Player of the Year in the Centennial Conference. He put up 27 points in last week's game against Wesleyan. That's the 11th highest output in Centennial Conference NCAA history. And a foul is called against Connor Harkins. And that three, a big one, putting the Garnet up 21 points. The tail end of the sweet stroke from Wiley. Patron spins into and out of a double. Eli Bryant, it's good from three. Big three from Bryant, they needed it, cuts it to 19. Plattsburgh now needs some stops. Lammers and some patience there to get it down to Robbie Walsh. And two hands on the back, Adam Jaquish. Timeout on the floor. We've hit the under 12 mark. The Garnet lead by 19. Robbie Walsh will have the front end of a 1-and-1. Up next here on GSN.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
It's a game of balance, and as we look inside the huddle of Landry Kosmalski and the Swarthmore Garnet, we take a look at the statistics. Zach Yonda leads all scorers with 17. Nate Schaefer has 14. Zach Odell with 12, and Cam Wiley with 9 points. And it'll be Robbie Walsh with an opportunity for free throws at the line to push the game to 20 or more. Walsh will get the shooter's roll. Just a 60% free throw shooter, but he's done a good job to take all the excess motion out of his free throw. He's just going to go down, down, and up, all in one motion. And he hits them both. 61-40, Garnet lead in front of a sold-out crowd here at Tarbell Pavilion. The gym has been hot all night. Eli Bryant, great spin into the hole, and then he tried to get it through to Jaquish. It wouldn't go. Lammers inside for Walsh. Extra pass. Connor Harkins steps in and drills it. The composure from the freshman, letting the defender fly by and getting a better look. Here's a three from Brandon Johnson. No good. 23-point lead. Garnet looking to put the foot on the throat. Wiley, floater is good. It's a 25-point game. Plattsburgh, they got to go now, and they got to get stops. Eli Bryant, that's a tough three. No good. Schaefer, an easy rebound. And Plattsburgh forcing it a little bit. Harkins all the way to the hole. It's 27, and it's the largest lead of the game for the Swarthmore Garnet. Timeout called, and watch this place erupt. Thirty-second timeout on the floor. Swarthmore 67, Plattsburgh 40. The Garnet looking to get to their first sectional final in program history, and they're going to host it here at Tarbell Pavilion. Still 10:26 to play. Tom Curl in that huddle that you see now. First things first, they got to get more defensive stops than they have here in the second half. And they're forcing the shots. Tough to blame them with the deficit that they're looking at. But just 15 for 51 from the floor, 29%. Garnet staying the man-to-man. Here's the lob. Eric Mack is fouled, undercut by Robbie Walsh. And that's an easy call there. Walsh not going to like it, but he just kind of got caught and didn't know where he was. So Mack will go to the line. Great recognition that time from Eli Bryant. Mack misses the first. Mack misses both, but the rebound from Patron, well short there. Abbas Salah back into the game. Inside, Zach Odell, counted and one. He's going to get an opportunity to make it a 30-point game. Jonathan Patron picks up another foul. That's his third. And it's just the big man running the floor. It's really simple basketball. Push the ball, and if your big beats the other guy down the floor, good things are going to happen. And Jonathan Patron, he smacks the scorer's table on his way to the bench. And he picks up a technical foul for his efforts. Zach Yonda will shoot the technical. 2 foul shots for Yonda, followed by 1 more for Odell. Garnet leads 70-40. Zach Yonda continues to have an astounding senior season. And he leads all scorers with 19 points. Now Zach Odell, his first foul shot of the night. He has 14 points on 7 of 9 shooting. And he gets that one to roll around and down. 72-40, 32-point lead for the Garnet. And Jim Lammers pulls at Nick DeAngelis. That's the 5th team foul against the Garnet. Lammers, his first personal foul. Bryant and DeAngelis now with 22 seconds on the shot clock. Wants a high ball screen from Mack. Runs right at Zach Odell, and an easy call there. So he just found himself out of position. And it's good recognition from DeAngelis to create that contact. Odell picks up his 3rd personal foul. Robbie Walsh will replace him. Here's a lob for DeAngelis, and he finishes. Plattsburgh is called off the full court pressure, back into a half-court man-to-man. Double team coming on Abbas Salah, somehow gets away from it and then traveled. And unfortunately, it just has not been the freshman's night. Running the point, Plattsburgh puts a lot of pressure on you when you handle the basketball, and it is a big responsibility. That's a great learning experience for Abbas Salah, who's now turned it over a couple times. Howard off for Mack, a fadeaway look, and hits it. Over the top, Robbie Walsh can't catch it. Probably didn't need it, and you can kind of see the disgust on the face of Landry Kosmalski thinking, did we really need that? Good look at Mack. He's got a really good mid-range game. He's a fun guy to watch, really athletic, and can do it at both ends. Here's a lob for Mack. Robbie Walsh was there, but Howard follows up. Now they do pick up full court once again. Ryan Ingram loses the basketball, saved in bounds, and Schaefer has it. They still have to get the ball up past half court in 2 seconds, and they do. Nick DeAngelis taps it out of bounds, and a timeout is called by Landry Kosmalski and the Swarthmore Garnet, and he is fired up. He sees his guys perhaps not with that same attention to detail, and he sees Plattsburgh right now playing a little bit harder than his team, and he's not liking it. The Swarthmore College Garnet won their first 2 games in the NCAA tournament. First, a 90-63 win against New England College. That a 27-point cushion. Then they beat Wesleyan University 97-75, a 22-point win. Right now they lead by 26 over Plattsburgh State. And looking to finish this off, 8 minutes and 45 seconds left. Walsh inside. Walsh gets all the way to the hole. He does a good job of sealing, getting the ball, and he finds his way to the spot. Eric Mack, a three. That's good. And Mack continues to have a very nice game. Now Odell at the top of the key. Power dribble, hands off for Wiley. Slip. And can't finish. That one was halfway down. Bryant with the basketball guarded by Ryan Ingram. Mack again. That won't go. And Howard gave up on the play as Robbie Walsh sealed him. Patience here from the Garnet. This from our overhead cam. Walsh all the way to the glass, counted and one. The big man put it to the pavement. That's one dribble from the elbow and all the way to the glass. And he's a senior that doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants to return right here tomorrow and play again. That's Ian Howard's 5th personal foul. He has fouled out of the game. It has been, from start to finish, a big-time game for the Garnet. Full timeout on the floor. We'll be right back on GSN.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Scores from around the country in progress. Ramapo leads Franklin and Marshall 66-62 with 31.6 seconds to play in the game. Diplomats, the only other team other than Swarthmore representing the Centennial Conference at this stage of the NCAA tournament. Robbie Walsh completes the three-point play and will take a seat to a rousing ovation. Also in progress, John Carroll leads Augustana 35-30, 2:39 to play in the first half. Mack is fouled and will go to the line. Again in progress, Nebraska Wesleyan 37, UW Platteville 32, and then our game, Swarthmore 77, Plattsburgh 49. The games earlier today, you watched it here on GSN. Springfield 92, Hamilton 90 in overtime. A final from Ramapo, MIT 79, Middlebury 76. UW Oshkosh took care of Emory 93-72, and then the last game in that early slot, Whitman 65, UW Stevens Point 55. Schaefer again, too easy. The big man got lost, and Schaefer continues to have a career night. Make that 16 points on 8 of 9 shooting, and the Garnet get a steal. Schaefer, the one to come up with it. Wiley to put a cap on it. It goes. 82-51. Schaefer bodies up Jaquish. Good move inside. Back cut, Lammers too far for him. Right idea from Cam Wiley. And Nick DeAngelis will come off the floor for Plattsburgh. Nate Schaefer, Zach Yonda off the floor for the Garnet. The Garnet an astounding 62.7% from the field, and an offensive foul called against Jaquish. And that one goes against Mack, his fourth. He was also in the area and called for his fourth personal foul. The Garnet with that 62.7% from the field, 32 for 51. But only the 5 for 18 from 3. They've gotten a lot of points like that. Inside on the slip, this time Robbie Walsh at the glass. And Ingram got the ball away, but couldn't come up with it. Now a good look inside. Jaquish is fouled by number 31, Connor Harkins. Another look this time from Walsh, and a tiny bit late. That's all you need if you're Jaquish. Not denying that ball in, and Robbie Walsh finishes with ease. Jaquish hits the first. And this is absolutely astounding. I mentioned that 62% from the field. Now the Garnet 33 for 52 in total and 5 for 18 from 3. Quick math tells you they are 28 for 34. 28 for 34 from inside three-point range. That is absolutely astounding. Make that 29 for 35. Nate Schaefer continues to pile on. And Walsh gets his hand in there. Mack gets it back. Taken away from him by Ryan Ingram. He got his hand in there. Ingram is fouled. He will shoot 2 at the line. Another look at the back cut from Schaefer, and they got it going on here at Tarbell. Ryan Ingram, a great story for him, a freshman who's come in and earned himself a starting role, but is not afraid of the spotlight. At Western Albemarle High School, set the school scoring record. And who did he pass? One Mr. Billy Babers, who went on to play high-level college football at the University of Virginia, and then went on to play NFL football for the Kansas City Chiefs as a professional. That is the company that Ryan Ingram keeps. In and out, 13 for 18 from the line for the Garnet. And I'm going to throw a stat at you that'll blow your mind. With all that said, 29 for 35 from 2 and 13 of 18 from the foul line. Swarthmore has a better shooting percentage from inside the three-point line from the field than they do at the charity stripe. Zach Coleman will shoot 2 at the line. And if you're Plattsburgh State, it's certainly a tough one and tough to stomach when you hear numbers like that and just the way this Garnet team has been shooting here in the NCAA tournament. They'll end their season 24-5 overall. Another berth in the sectional semifinals, and still seeking that second trip to the NCAA semifinals, the Final Four. Their lone time, 1976. Walsh up and under. 88-56. Mack to the hole, blocked but fouled. Walsh got an initial hand. Mack, a great job to stay with it and earn his trip to the line. And this on the other end, Robbie Walsh, just a drop step. That's all you need. And this on the other side, Mack. Walsh is going to come on the help. And he certainly got some ball, but he got the left hand of Eric Mack without a doubt. Robbie Walsh getting a big hand from the hometown faithful. Mack hits the free throw. Abbas Salah. They're trying to poke it away from behind. Ingram with 17 to shoot. Garnet lead by 30. Ingram pops up. Can't hit it, it was halfway down. Mack, he's been the hot hand recently here. But Eli Bryant will be the one. The lefty looking for help. Mack in rhythm, long three, it's good. All of a sudden, he's having quite a night. 16 points to lead all Cardinals. Back cut, Ingram. Blocked inside. Had it back for a second and taps it out. What an effort. Up 27 points, 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play, and you get that type of an effort from a true freshman. Reward the man. In and out. And Odell will take his time. And Salah will not. Bryant through the lane. Offensive foul. Ingram took a shot. Wasn't sure if he encountered any collateral damage, as there was a second man coming from that side after the initial bump. Timeout on the floor. Another look there as Ingram got crunched, but earned an offensive foul against Plattsburgh for his efforts. It has been a coronation so far, and it will continue for the next 3 minutes and 7 seconds as the Garnet are looking to advance to play Springfield tomorrow right here at 7 o'clock in the round of 8 with a trip to the national semifinals on the line. A final out of New Jersey. Ramapo, a 10-point winner over Franklin and Marshall. And Swarthmore is officially the last Centennial Conference team remaining. Abbas Salah with the basketball. Salah with 20. Back cut. Couldn't finish. That was Alec White, the freshman, just into the game. Hasn't seen as much time as Harkins and some of the other freshmen this year, but has done a nice job when he's come into the game. That's Eli Bryant putting 2 on the board. And they're going to get it right back to White. White over the shoulder. Real nice. And Alec White can say he's put up points in the NCAA tournament. And now 90-63, the exact score that Swarthmore beat New England College by. Will get substitutions to bring Peter Fago onto the floor. Another true freshman from Strathaven High School locally here in Swarthmore, Pennsylvania. Jared Groff, the freshman from Weston, Massachusetts, into the game. And now you have 5 freshmen on the floor for the Garnet, unloading the bench and getting everybody a look in the NCAA tournament. It is not out of the realm of possibility to say that the Garnet of Swarthmore have been the most impressive team in the NCAA tournament thus far. A 27-point win, a 22-point win, and then here, leading by 27 points with under 2 minutes to play, and making this an absolutely raucous home atmosphere. .15 to shoot for Plattsburgh. Back cut, and it's thrown away. Harkins, the sharpshooter. Here's Alec White. He got his first 2 points at the NCAA tournament. Now Harkins trying to add on. Yes! They lead by 30 again. Tough shot inside. It'll be number 25, Travis Cox, going to the line. A little crossover shake to get by Salah, and then Salah fouled him. Cox misses the first. The Garnet of Swarthmore, as of right now, 31 for 40 from inside the three-point line. Over 75%. Absolutely tremendous. Here's Fago with it. Harkins with 10. Now Jared Groff. Groff looking to shake. Gets all the way to the rim, up and under, no. Shot clock turned off. And Cox will dish it back out for Matt Bernhard. Inside they go, Isaiah Hill. Hill blocked by number 34, Alec White. 7.3 seconds to play. They'll launch it too, and for the first time, the Swarthmore Garnet are headed to the round of 8. They will host tomorrow against Springfield after a 30-point win against Plattsburgh State, and they did it in every way today. They finished the game 31 for 41 from inside the three-point line. They held a plus 12 in the rebounding advantage, and Landry Kosmalski, in his first opportunity to host a sectional as the head coach of the Swarthmore Garnet, gave this crowd a lot to enjoy. And this team, boy, do they deserve it, the way they played in this NCAA tournament. A 27-point win, a 22-point win against the host team Wesleyan in the second round, and then tonight, a 30-point win against Plattsburgh, the top team in the SUNYAC, a team that was on a 21-game winning streak, and a team that had a lot of momentum coming in. Swarthmore was led by Zach Yonda with 19 points. Nate Schaefer chipped in 18. Zach Odell had 15 points on 7 of 10 shooting. Cam Wiley had 14 points on 5 of 7 from the field. And Robbie Walsh had 12. As a team, They finish with 54 points in the paint, 21 points off turnovers, and end-to-end just dominated this game. Well, I certainly appreciated doing the play-by-play tonight and bringing this into the homes of all the great fans of Swarthmore, of Plattsburgh State, of Springfield College, and of Hamilton College, and of course of Division III basketball fans all across the country. And I want to thank the team as well. My producer tonight, Daya Shrestha, Sam Shepard, Alyssa Nathan, and Gilly Tilson on camera. Of course, for Brandon Hodnett for setting everything up here at GSN. And for all of those folks, my name is Bob Long saying so long here from Tarbell, and we'll see you tomorrow night. I don't know if it can get much better. A regulation heave went down for Springfield, and they were able to finish it off in overtime. And then on this one tonight, it was start to finish for Swarthmore, jumping out to a 22-5 lead, and then able to put the hammer down here in the second half. We're going to keep you right here on GSN. Give them a couple minutes to get rested up, but you're going to hear the press conferences from both teams. Of course, Plattsburgh, a tough end, but a season to be celebrated. 21 straight leading into this one, their first loss here in 2018. And Swarthmore, their season not over. They continue their run through the NCAA tournament with a 93-63 victory over Plattsburgh State. Tomorrow's game, 7 o'clock p.m., Springfield College against Swarthmore. We'll see you then right here on GSN.